So, this will be an interesting little experiment that we have going on here. This is the Simps and Stones podcast. I actually really like the name. I don't remember who came up with it. I think, was it me? I don't remember.
I thought it was you.
Okay, it might have been me. Okay, anyway, but this is a new podcast from a Weird Fish production, and it's just going to be a sort of general podcast. I don't know what to call these things. Just a bunch of dudes getting together and talking. These seem to be really popular now. So I'm here with Memo and
Hello.
also with our special guest, Joseph.
Hey!
What's up, Fabian? Hello, Fabian. How are you?
Judge's way more excited than I was. I feel bad. Can I do mine?
Can you do
So I was thinking about this the other day. I feel like there's like a billion podcasts out there. And like, Memo, I've noticed this twice already, that people have come up to you and like asked you about like how to do them. So like everyone else wants to come up with a podcast. And like, they all say the same thing where it's just like, oh yeah, it's just like, we just want to talk with friends and stuff. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's a little, I don't know. It kind of feels like maybe there's like a podcast bubble, maybe.
Well, they're super easy to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like compared to other stuff. Like I don't mean like I mean it's really hard to be interesting. But I mean because there's thousands of podcasts out there that are super boring.
Yeah.
Some but it's easy to make as far as like what you need and how to actually get it done. Unless you're doing something like This American Life or something crazy like journalistic
Criminal
and
or
shit,
something.
Yeah. But like if it's just like sitting down and like Logan Paul talking with his friends, I mean, they just I don't know why I said Logan Paul, but
Yeah.
but he has that one podcast,
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Do you listen to a lot of podcasts, Jojo?
Yeah. I started listening to podcasts back in 2013. The first podcast I ever listened to was If I Were You by Jake and Amir of College Humor.
Okay.
College Humor fame. And I just they a couple years afterwards they opened up a podcast studio called Headgum Network. And they've released some really good stuff. If I Were You was really good.
That's still going on?
That's still going on. They released.
I think College Humor is dead, right? Like College Humor no longer exists.
Pretty much. It's not what it used to be.
Okay. I didn't know.
I hate to say that because I sound old, but no, they released a podcast called Not Another D&D Podcast, and it's just four of them playing Dungeons and Dragons, and it's
pretty good.
It's silly and it's fun. It's a good time. Freedom is another great one on Earwolf Network. It's Paul F. Tompkins, Scott Aukerman, and Lauren Lapkus just shooting the breeze, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's. I've noticed that it's either like a journalistic podcast, like a criminal, or like something like that, or it's like just a whatever Joe Rogan style. We're just gonna talk for 3 hours.
I haven't listened to Joe Rogan's podcast.
I have a lot of opinions on Joe Rogan, though.
Yeah, do you like Joe Rogan, Jojo?
I don't think I've ever had an opinion on Joe Rogan.
Interesting.
I remember when that Trump Biden debate came out, and Jojo was kind of like,
what was your opinion on that, Jojo?
I think the Joe Rogan podcast is kind of for like dude bros who want to think they're intellectual.
Wow.
But see, I'm not like the.
But I'm also
Rogan
stupid.
Fan. No, that's not what I was going to say. No, you've never heard of Joe Rogan podcast, so how would you know?
I've listened to like clips.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just kind of the vibe I get.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would say Joe Rogan's probably a dude bro.
Yeah.
I will say that.
He's like a dude bro that grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and has like thoughts and stuff, Yeah, I'm not like a big Joe Rogan stan, but I mean, as far as like anybody out there doing it in the podcasting game, he's probably the most in the middle.
Yeah.
And the most open to just discussions.
Mm-hmm.
So I respect that. You know, I mean, he's not gonna have like, you know, sometimes his like, he's not super well formulated on all his thoughts and shit. You know, but he pushes people back enough, and
Yeah.
he's probably like the most normal person on there. He's not like some political person who like is trying to push some narrative. Yeah. You know, like he's just there talking to people and trying to figure shit out. And I think they get that dude bro stuff because of the people who listen to him and kind of push him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he himself is unproblematic in my eyes for the most part.
Yeah. Well,
like, he gets pushed a lot of like weird shit on him.
And he's like, I would say he's probably the one that's started everything off, you know, as far as like making this whole podcast craze go. I don't know. It's because like I feel like every celebrity is posting on Twitter like, hey, listen to my podcast. Hey, listen to my thing. There was that. Did you see that Alyssa Milano thing? It was Alyssa Milano. I think
Who the fuck's Alyssa Milano?
She's an actress.
She was a witch on Charmed. It was an old like CW back when CW wasn't CW. It was
She comes out and stuff. Anyway, but like she started a podcast and she's maybe getting like 500, 600 views, which would be like, you know, for us, if like for any of our podcasts, if we had 500, 600 views, we'd be like super happy with that. But you know, she was super upset. She was like, how's my audience only 1/3 of Joe Rogan's audience? This is disgusting. She had like these these very interesting comments about that.
It's not interesting. I don't know. I don't know her. I don't know her. I literally, like, when you said Alyssa Milano, I'm like, I don't even know who that is.
I'm pretty sure it was her. Hopefully it's not. I'm not like calling her out. Let me see. Let me double check.
I think I'm looking at her right now on Google. I have no clue who she is. She kind of looks like Anna Kasparian.
I don't know.
But that's about it. That's like she's from TYT.
Yeah, it was Alyssa Milano. She said something really dumb too. She was like, I'm only like 1/3 the size of Joe Rogan, and people were like, you're not. You're like less than that. You're not even close to 1/3 his size. If you're only getting 600 views on a podcast and he gets like millions upon millions, it's like,
I mean, Joe Rogan's been doing it for a while. It's not like he's just like
since like 2009, I think.
Yeah, it's not like he just like popped up on the scene and was like, damn, Spotify, give him money. I don't know. It's real weird.
I would say that, and then like even like sort of the Breakfast Club and like Joe Budden, I think, kind of had like this thing. I would say in the early 2010s, you know, where it was just like they would just come out and like talk about pop culture and like music and stuff, and then it sort of spun off into podcasting. But anyway, what were you gonna say, Momo?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no clue. Who the fuck's Alyssa Milano? That's my answer to that question.
She's an actress.
No offense to her.
I think she got like, and then I'm pretty sure she was like really big in the Me Too movement and stuff.
Yeah, her and Rose McGowan, who were both on Charmed.
Hasn't there been like a lot of hate on Rose McGowan? Isn't that a thing?
There has been. There has also been a lot of hate on Alyssa Milano.
Yeah.
Hey Jojo, you would know this. I'm sorry, this is completely off topic.
No, you're good.
When you go to Cinemark, there's or maybe it's not Cinemark. There's like that girl before the pre-show.
Oh, but her.
I'm sorry. This is completely off. It's fine. It's fine. It's shut.
No.
When you said Alyssa Milano, that's what it reminded me of.
No, I will find this out. It's a name that's so difficult.
Why would
Melissa Milano?
Melissa Mianuvo.
Melissa Mianuvo. Yeah, something like that. Sorry. This is completely like messing up your podcast.
This is what it's about.
I looked up Melissa Cinemark and I can't find anything.
Maria Menounos.
Maria Menounos, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
For anybody wondering about that, that's her name.
Yeah. We got it. It's there.
Thank God.
That's what it reminded me of when you said Melissa Milano. That's exactly what I was thinking about at first.
Yeah.
What? How do you know that girl, but not Alyssa Milano? That's so weird.
She comes out in other pre-shows of Cinemark movies.
When was the last time we went to a Cinemark movie?
It's been a while, but she was always there when I used to go in Del Rio.
Okay.
And I'd get there like super early, sit down, and she'd be like, "Hello, my name is what's your name? Milano. What's your name?
Milano.
Maria Menounos.
Yeah, Maria Menounos.
MENOUNOS. Ounos.
Yeah, she'd be like, "My name is Maria Menounos, and this is what's popping off on the charts today." I'd be like, "All right, girl, tell me what's popping off on the charts."
I don't remember.
And then it'd be some random ass song nobody even knows about.
Yeah, from a band that's kind of on the rise.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I just knew JoJo would know because he goes to the movies as much as I do.
Because JoJo knows this stuff, you know.
The last movie I saw in theaters, if we want to talk about that, was Sonic the Hedgehog.
No way, was it? What was my last movie?
It actually wasn't awful.
It might be Sonic for me too.
Like it was pretty adorable. I saw it with some friends here, and it was a good time.
I think that was the last movie I saw in theaters. Also, was Sonic the Hedgehog.
What did you think of it, Nick?
Oh, I think it's fine. I think it's a perfectly suitable kids movie.
Yeah,
you know.
I think my. Have you seen it, Memo?
No.
It's
what this movie seems right down your alley, Memo.
I know, dude. You should definitely give it a shot. You don't have to, but no. One of the funniest things about that movie is the product placement, because it's the most blatant.
I don't remember.
At the end of it, like, they save the town, and like the general of I'm gonna butcher this. The general of the military,
okay.
The U.S. general.
You know what? That might be what he's called in the movie too. So don't worry about it.
Yeah. But he comes into like their house to like congratulate them, and he hands them like $100 Olive Garden gift card.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And like they do this chit chat. It's like, yeah, Olive Garden's great. When you're there, your family. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it was.
I remember that. Yeah,
it was hilarious.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, interesting movie. Do you guys miss going to the movies? I know, Memel, you're thinking about going to see Tenet, right?
Yeah. Yo, I have like a nose hair. It's pop. I'm sorry. It's bothering me like crazy. I can see it on my camera.
Good lord, you're just like picking your nose on camera.
I'm not picking the nose. I'm trying to pick the hair out.
Oh, okay.
Like, you see it,
dude?
No.
All right, I'm putting it back in. That's what you wanted, wasn't it?
I mean, that's what we wanted.
Okay. No. Last movie I saw was Invisible Man, and I did want to go see Tenet this morning, but I woke up feeling like shit, so I didn't go.
Dude, that's the best time to go see a movie.
I just didn't want to get out of bed. I barely wanted to get up for the podcast, honestly.
Wow.
But I got up.
Wow.
Not like the podcast was the issue.
No,
but
it's fine. I get it. No, it's fine.
Cool.
It's fine. I understand. It makes.
I had to like.
Cool.
I had to do all my like. I don't know what you would call them. My fallbacks.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Like I had to like do shit that I set up in order to feel okay to do shit. So that's what I ended up doing.
Yeah. So
I can't wait to go back to the movies.
Why don't you go to the movies, JoJo?
Because I don't have a car.
Oh.
I am vehicleless.
You act like we have Uber now and stuff.
I also don't have money. I start a job.
Oh, that's right.
On Monday, working at Nestle.
Wait,
I'm gonna be
the chocolate place?
It's not Nestle.
No, it's Nestle.
That's the chocolate place, right? I don't know. Work at like, is it gonna be like a chocolate factory? Like
no,
factory?
No, I'll be working at the Stouffer's portion of Nestle.
That sounds like the candy portion of Nestle.
Yeah. No, I'll be dumping bags of pasta sauce into mixing vats for 10 hours a day for 4 days a week.
That's not a bad schedule.
It's not. When I worked at Capital One, I had a 4-10 schedule. I had 3 days off a week. It was fucking great. I loved it. You
used to do call centers, right?
I did, yes.
How was that? Funniest call center stories.
Oh, dude, listen, I got one. So Capital One, I worked at Capital One, and what I did there was help people file for fraud, file for a new card, had to check on charges and stuff like that. And every now and then, we would get a transfer call from an agent from the Philippines. Thick accent, you know. And I say, "Thank you for calling Capital One. My name is Joseph. Can I have your first and last name, please?" And I get this call from this Filipino agent saying, "Hey, this guy's really upset. He's just really upset and he wants to speak to an American." I was like, "Oh, one of these guys. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and transfer him over." And he gets us on like this three-way conference call. And I can just hear the customer just swear up a storm, "Get me to a fucking American supervisor." I'm not a supervisor. And he transfers the call. I say, "Hey, my name is Joseph. How can I assist you?" And he just starts going off, and people have like kept hanging up on him because he's just been swearing so much. He was talking about like he was a lawyer in Portland, Maine, and he killed people in Iraq legally, and he could kill me too if I didn't help him.
Jesus, what?
And I was like, okay.
I didn't know lawyers could do that. What the?
I know. No, Richard. And I remember that.
Oh gosh, okay.
Just dox him.
We might have to cut that. I don't know.
You could bleep that or cut that.
Well, it wasn't like a full date of birth. It's just
Yeah.
No. But he was just going on, and he was talking about like, I wanted to speak to an American. I don't trust those fucking gooks in the Philippines. And I'm not prejudiced or anything. I was like, oh, okay.
Thanks.
And I was like, well, what's going on? What's happening? I want to help you. He's like, Hulu and Netflix have charged me even though I canceled my subscription. I was like, you know what? I can certainly assist you there. Let me get Netflix customer service on the phone. We can have a three-way call, and we can get this sorted out. He's like, okay. So I get on the phone with Netflix. Very nice lady. And I say, hey, this guy's I undersell him to her.
Okay.
I say, hey, this guy's upset. He canceled his subscription and he's still being charged for it. Do you think you could help us with that? She's like, yeah, I can certainly assist you. And so I put her in the conference call, and as soon as she introduces herself...
is this Filipino man also still in the conference call?
No, he is gone.
Okay. He is from the Philippines?
The agent that transferred Richard to me was Filipino.
Well, okay, but is he in the Philippines, or he's just Filipino?
They do have call centers in the Philippines. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And so as soon as she introduces herself, he just lays into her. Do you people just love fucking people over? Don't interrupt me, you bitch! And just starts laying into her, and all she's trying to do is get the email. I don't know. I have several different fucking emails, and he starts like rapid firing the emails. Just starts listing them off, and neither her nor I can like think of the email. And so she warns him like 5 times, hey, keep this professional or I'm going to hang up. And he finally drops cunt on her. And she's like, okay, bye. And I apologized right before she hung up. And this fucking asshole had the audacity to say, I don't understand why she just wouldn't help me. And I said to him, I don't know, Richard. She was just trying to get the email for security purposes, but I get where you're coming from. Let's get Hulu on the phone, and then we can try Netflix again. It's like, okay. I get Hulu on the phone, and this time I fully warn him, hey, he has made racist remarks. He has made death threats. He is being a pain. You do not have to take this call. I tell the agent that you do not have to take this call. And he says, no, I got it. And so I'm like, Richard, let him have it. I didn't say that, but Richard, let him have it.
Oh my gosh.
And of course, Richard just lays into him, you piece of white trash, you do you like fucking people over? And just starts going and going and going. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm done. So I hang up on Hulu, and Richard is in mid rant, and I hang up on Richard, and I take a 45-minute lunch break because.
How long is usually your lunch break?
30 minutes.
Oh, that seems kind of short, but
yeah. Wow. But it was. There was another.
So like, do you guys have like? Do you like when you say you contact Hulu or you contact Netflix? Do you since you work at Capital One? Do you have like a special contact number or a special way to contact them, or no? Or do you just go to the contact us on their website and all that? Or
so we have a list because at Capital One, since you're dealing with people's personal information, everything but the software and the Capital One website is blocked.
Huh.
So we have this online textbook, this online handbook filled with instructions on how to do things, and one of them has like a list of numbers for customer service, phone numbers, and so we had to get a hold of those guys, and it was annoying. There was a I got like one more just little quip. I was on the phone for 2.5 hours. This was my longest phone call at Capital One. 2.5 hours with this woman whose boyfriend tried to make a payment, and she needed it cleared so that she could do something that night. And we have the ability to do that, but it just takes it doesn't take 2.5 hours, but the minimum it takes like 15-20 minutes. It's really annoying. We have to like call their bank that they've made a payment from to make sure it's cleared on their checking account, and then we have to contact some people in India via chat, and it's just bad IVR and just bad English, and it's this hodgepodge of fuckery.
Does it turn you into your own version of Richard when you have to deal with stuff like that?
No, it's just one thing. How help you may I? Like that's okay. That's how the chat would be, and it was kind of cute.
It's kind of cute.
That's the widest thing I've ever said.
You're kind of cute. I don't know if it's the widest thing.
It was kind of cute. You said wider things.
Yeah, you definitely said wider things. We could talk about that too, but you definitely.
But no, she, her and I chatted, and she pretty much, while we waited for this thing to clear out, she had 2 children, a son and a daughter. The son was autistic and in the army. The daughter was an artist, and she was set to go to art school, but her ex-husband took that money that was saved for that art school and vacationed with a girl in Boston, of all places.
Boston.
Yeah. And like at the end of the phone call, when everything was like said and done, she was like, "Young man," listen, she sounded like she smoked like 50 packs a day. She said, "Young man, take some time out of your day for yourself, even if it's just to jerk off. I masturbate twice a day because no man's here to do it." And I just kind of laughed uncomfortably. It was like, "Ha, good one. Good night."
You're like, way ahead of you, lady.
Way ahead of you, lady. But those were 2 of them.
At least she was nice, you know.
Yeah.
Well, what's up?
A thing. Sorry, I know this is like I was interested to just said the girl had a son that had autism and was in the army. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So then the question came up in my head is like, can people with autism join the army?
Apparently.
And so I looked it up and they can't.
Oh, she was
a
liar.
Army applicants with autism spectrum disorders are automatically disqualified per Defense Department Ascension policy.
Well, maybe there
are some waivers given.
Yeah. He might have had like high functioning, but she said he had autism and he had joined the army.
You should have asked her. No, I'm just kidding.
You should have looked this up, JoJo.
Ma'am, are you lying to me about your son?
Is he
You don't trust. Wait, Memo. You're telling me you don't trust the lady that told Joseph to masturbate twice a day because no one else is gonna do.
You know, I will say this: people like, I know I've never worked at a call center per se, but people will like make up. And I'm not saying her son's not really autistic in the military. That's a really weird thing to bring up for like pity, but people will make up like the weirdest stories in order for you to help them.
Yeah.
Like they think if they tell you they have like I don't know, a mixed race kid who's like paraplegic and just got hit by a car, and then they automatically help him with something. Yeah. That's probably the wrong example of that, but
no. So the call I got after Richard was a guy who missed a payment. He was very nice, very patient. He was like, "Yeah, I missed a payment. I'm sorry about that. Last night it was due last night, but I was playing Santa for some unfortunate children." And like
playing Santa for unfortunate children.
Yeah, and I like part of me was like, yeah, okay. And then like the other part of me was like, I want to believe that there is good in this world because Richard's a fucking asshole. But I was able to waive a late fee for the guy that played Santa for unfortunate children.
Did he use that word, unfortunate, or is that you just trying to remember?
I'm just trying to remember.
Oh, okay.
It was for children who...
He said lesser kids. That's what he said, right?
That's not... No. Who were in unfortunate circumstances. It might have been an orphanage. I don't know.
Interesting.
But...
I don't know. I feel like...
But yeah, man.
I feel like orphanages are brought up a lot on pop culture, and I've never seen one. I don't know.
I've never seen one either.
You know, like
orphanages, not a thing.
There you go.
I mean, aren't they? They're like houses, not houses, but like they're state-run houses, right?
Yeah.
They're not like orphanages, like a big ass building just filled with children in them.
Yeah.
No, I felt the same. I've never met an orphan. I've never asked anybody if they had parents or not.
Never met an orphan either.
Yeah. Well, there's a guy in Del. I don't want to say the town. There's a guy in our old city who used to call himself orphan. I thought it was the cringiest thing ever.
Oof. It's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Anyway,
if he's hearing this, I'm sorry, dude, but your name is fucking cringy.
Still give us a like and a follow, please.
Yeah.
Hey,
5 stars.
So how long did you work at that Capital One at this call center?
So I worked there from October of 2018 to June 31st of 2019. Because I woke up one day.
It wasn't a year.
No, I woke up and was like, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah.
I was unemployed for a month and a half and then worked at Cricket, and Cricket was another call center. They paid better, but it wasn't. I mean, you still had your crazy people. So Cricket, for those of you who don't know, Cricket is a company that puts out.
A phone company?
It's not the phone company. It's the there's two Cricket companies. There's the Cricket spelt Cricket. That's the phone company, and then there's Cricket Cricut. Cricut. And they build and put out these machines that cut paper, vinyl, cardstock, poster board. It's arts and crafts and scrapbooking and stuff like that. And most of the customers were pretty nice. Of course, you'd have like Midwestern housewives who feel that they're entitled to something because they chose to wait 2 hours on hold while we help people.
Interesting.
But that job wasn't as bad as Capital One, but it wasn't that great. But it was
like, so I don't know, from your experience, because like I know now everyone talks about the Karen. You know, it's usually just that Midwestern entitled housewife thing.
Yeah.
I've always wondered, is that like a real thing? Like, is that an accurate description, or is it just like something that the pop culture has sort of come up with that doesn't really exist? But
it's would you consider it a stereotype?
I don't know. I wanted to ask that too.
Because it's fully a thing. Like we would have there was a girl who wasn't yelling at me, but she was, for lack of a better word, she was yelling at me because I wouldn't give her what she wanted. And
I bet that happens a lot with you, huh, Joseph?
And so and so like she was going on. She's like, "I'm sorry to be a Karen, but I need to speak to a supervisor." I was like, "Yeah, I can get you a supervisor." And maybe this isn't something I should say, but like,
no,
the supervisor calls, the people who take the supervisor calls at Capital One. So we were in Utah. The base customer service, the front lines, was in Utah, whereas the like supervisor people who take the calls for supervisor calls, they were located in Florida.
Interesting. So,
but at Cricket, where the person that took the supervisor call sat one desk in front of me.
Oh, okay.
And has been here for 5 years longer than I have.
Okay.
And so it was always rough because I had to look over at them and say, "Hey, I'm sorry that you're about to get yelled at. I tried. I honestly did. I tried to de-escalate, but these fucking craft people are so fucking passionate, and that's great, and that's awesome. But good fuck, you don't deserve anything."
Oh my gosh.
And so it was. Go ahead.
No, and a craft place would probably be where most Karens would go towards, you know?
Yeah, no, like, it's a huge community. Like, it's, I got a call from a lady saying that she was terminally ill. And
that she just played Mrs. Claus for some unfortunate...
There's an autistic kid in the military.
She was terminally ill. She was part of this Facebook
probably
group.
Dead already.
I know.
Stop, dude.
Stop,
She was on this Cricket Facebook group, this crafting Facebook group, and she was calling in to complain about a member of this Facebook group. Now, typically, these Cricket Facebook groups are like local, like they like.
Yeah, I would think so.
But this one was kind of nationwide, and she was reporting that there was a woman who was using our products to make like quote unquote inappropriate things. Like this woman would like print out dicks on t-shirts and write the word bad bitch on t-shirts. And this lady sent me this lady who was calling about it sent me like pictures of it, and I tried my hardest not to laugh because it was actually really funny. Like I was like, oh, that's kind of charming in a rude way, but she was, but this lady was being bullied by this woman who made these shirts. And
was she being bullied by her?
She was being bullied?
Like bullied. Like they were part of this same Facebook group, this nationwide Facebook group, and I guess this lady was just kind of harassing her and kind of turning everyone in the group against her and stuff like that. And typically with that sort of thing, we can't. There's not a whole lot we can do. It's a local Facebook group, and so I told her
Facebook or something, right?
Yeah, and she
leave the group.
Yeah,
and
leave the group.
So I sent this up to my tech guy, and he was like, "Yeah, there's not much we can do about it. Just tell her we'll do something about it, and then I'll close the ticket because nobody needs to hear this." And I was like,
classic customer service, man.
Like, okay. And so
I don't know, dude.
So,
maybe
I can
he was
imagine
like,
that.
we'll just wait her out.
Yeah,
maybe. Or
she's
like
probably gonna die soon.
Stop, Memo.
Or, man, I could like totally just see that lady next time like someone says something mean to her. She's like, "Don't worry, I already contact Cricket about this," and,
Yeah,
and they're gonna give you a stern talking to. They're gonna get
ban
this
you from the group.
They're gonna ban you from the group.
ban you.
You're in for it, lady.
No, she's like, I spoke to Joseph at Cricket, and he gave me his word.
Where he gave me his word.
Oh, my
And
God.
no,
Poor old lady, dude, she was on her deathbed waiting
Oh
for you
my
to block
God.
that lady.
I know. And like some of the members were actually really cool. Some of them were super cool. There was I actually have another interesting one, but one of them she was part of this. Her and her husband were part of this motorcycle club. And so she would make like little decals and T-shirts for this motorcycle club. And when she was talking to me, she said she had like lost like her husband, her brother, all within like 3 months of each other. And so I told her about my mom, and do you guys know my mom's dead? But she is. No, but she. So her and I talked about that, and she was really cool. But no, the longest phone call I had at any call center, I've only worked 2, so I guess that's not saying much, was 5 hours and 45 minutes.
Jesus, that's like almost a full work day.
You bet your sweet bippy it is. The issue was this guy was a fashion designer, and he showed me the website. I went to the website, and he makes like zombie themed rave clothes.
Okay.
And none of it was good.
Okay.
But I was just like, oh, this is super cool. This is really cool. But like none of it was good. And the issue is that typically he had people put his logo on things, like a hat or a t-shirt. But he was like, hey, I want to cut out the middleman and do it myself. I was like, okay. Yeah. So he sends me his logo. I look at it. I determine this is how you want to do this. It was basically he had to upload the same image 3 times because there were 3 colors in there. There was red, white, and black. So he had to upload it once, delete all the red and white, delete it a second time, delete red and black, delete it, upload it again, delete the other 2 colors. And he just kept not getting it, and I would send him my example, which was clean as fuck.
Okay.
And then he would send me his upload, and good fuck, this man's an idiot.
Oh gosh.
And so I was on the phone for 5 hours with this guy trying to explain to him, this is how you do it. You take this tool in the software and you manipulate it this way. 5 hours and 45 minutes. He just kept not getting it. I missed like my lunch and my last break.
Oof.
My supervisor, a supervisor, had to come over to my desk and say, "Hey, send him an email showing him how to do this and get off the phone." So I had to take my lunch, and I was told that I could leave 15 minutes early because.
15 minutes, huh?
Yeah. And then she.
Yeah, I don't have like a time limit on the calls you can be on.
So the time at these 2 call centers, they say take as much time as you need with the customers.
Okay.
But their stats say, hey, try to handle the call on an average of 15 minutes or less.
Okay.
And typically phone calls at Capital One were typically 15 minutes or less. Like the 15-20 minutes. Like it wasn't that hard. It was the same 5 fucking phone calls in the same fucking row.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you do that, bro.
I know.
It's not great.
My calls are like 2 minutes max.
But 5 hours, 45 minutes. But at cricket, it took almost like 20 to 30 minutes to figure out what's going on, because you have to sometimes it was a simple thing of like, hey, try this piece of troubleshooting. Oh, that worked? Great. See you later. Sometimes you would help them with a project, like how do you do this specific type of shading on this specific type of image? And so I would have to like walk them through and kind of teach myself, because I didn't mess with it in my off time.
Yeah.
So that's probably why it took so long. But it was they wanted an average of 15 to 16 minutes at cricket, and majority of the time it was not that, because the members are crazy creative, their ambitions so high, but our software is not as high as their ambitions.
That's kind of funny. So it's like So I wonder if your like 5-hour call just must have like really fucked up their stats, where now the average instead of 16 minutes is like 25
it certainly
minutes.
fucked up my stats, because so I was about 30 minutes into the phone call when he hung up, or we got disconnected.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't think like, oh, if I call him back, it should only take a couple more minutes to explain.
Uh-huh.
So when at this call center, there are a couple states of the phone. There's green ready, meaning you're ready to take a phone call when they come in, and then there's follow-up work, scheduled break, scheduled lunch, unscheduled break, and those are all colored in red, because either you should be in them on time or you shouldn't be in those at all.
Okay.
So I went into callback, which was also labeled in red, so that I could make an outbound call to this guy. And so my callback stats were probably fucked for that week, because
good lord.
Working in a call center, if you want really interesting stories, yeah, work there. If you want to be happy, clean a park, do housekeeping, work at a hotel.
Literally anything else.
Prostitution would be easier than a call center.
Speaking of prostitution, I wanted to get your opinion on something. So, like, we have a sort of mutual.
So what if I made an OnlyFans?
Okay, well, there's also that, no. but there is.
I accidentally subscribed to one. Yes.
Memo did accidentally subscribe to one. Watch our stream to get that story. I don't know if I truly believe it, but. So we have like a mutual friend / acquaintance whose birthday is sort of coming up. Memo, you told me this story. Don't make it.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't know who the hell you were talking about. Now I know.
Okay, yeah, and like as a birthday present, some other group of friends, right, that are kind of within our circle, we're gonna buy him a prostitute. Is that true, Memo?
Sex worker. Oh, they got really angry when they called her a prostitute.
Okay, a sex worker. Excuse me.
She's a fucking prostitute. There's nothing wrong with it. Let's get over it. Sex worker is an all-encompassing term.
And
anyways, yeah. Well, escort legally.
An escort.
That's important. That's important.
Yeah, that is important. Yeah. So, yeah, Jojo, how would you feel on your birthday if we got you something like that? Would you be like okay with that, or would you be like, no?
I would definitely. I couldn't help but be awkward. Like it would definitely be awkward for me. And so,
sorry, did you ask me personally who it was?
Yeah. But it would be awkward. I don't know if I would reject it or. Sorry, that's so bad.
Wow.
I don't know if I. I mean, I guess
we didn't like clarify if it was
or
male
him.
or female. Yeah.
Or non-binary.
Her, and so I don't know how I would feel. I'd want at least like dinner first. Like I don't know.
Well, you'd have to.
Yeah, like as I think
Well, that's not true either.
I don't know.
So,
I don't know how escorts work, but I believe
okay.
it's just sort of like a paid for date, and then whatever happens after that is sort of like whatever.
Yeah.
Or at least I don't know if that's the legal speak. I don't know. I really don't know.
I've actually been on it. No, I'm just kidding. I accidentally dated an escort once.
Wait, what?
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, I did do some research
just
for
like
this.
accidentally subscribed to an OnlyFans.
To OnlyFans. That is true. I am accidentally subscribed to OnlyFans. No, I did research for this for a script. As to like how. Okay, that sounds like oh really? No, but I'm being serious. Okay. How to like basically book one in Texas. And there used to be a page called like Backpage or something, and you would just go on there, and there was like escorts, but it was pretty like in your face. This is prostitution, and so the state shut it down, right? But now there's still like web pages you go on there, and like you pay for time is what you're paying for. So you're paying like $100 for like an hour, or sometimes they're even lower than that. They'll be like $30 for an hour. But what it really is like $30 for a blowjob. You know, but you're paying for time. You're not paying for sex. That's the important distinction.
Yeah.
So you're paying for a date per se.
I was listening to PKA podcast. That's like the Woody's gamer tag, FPS Kyle, and the other guy's name is Taylor. I don't know what his gaming persona is called, but his name is Taylor. And they were talking. They were talking. Or they're taking calls or something, or they're reading emails or chats or whatever, and like one of them, they read a truck driver, him and his buddy who is a truck driver went to the Bunny Ranch. Is that what it's called outside Las Vegas in Nevada? Yeah. Dang, Jojo, you answered that quick, like you knew where it was right away.
Dude, I actually think I'm like
you're kind of close, aren't you?
I'm like 5 hours. From 5-6 hours from
it's a show too.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it is. So but yeah, so like anyway, this guy, he went with his buddy who's a truck driver, and they're like, yeah, let's go to Bunny Ranch, right? So they go, and like the guy said that it was actually like a terrible experience, that he paid like a lot of money for like an hour, and like you don't actually have that time. It's basically just until you finish, and then that's it. So, you know, like even if you're done like 15 minutes, she's not going to give you. She didn't give him the full hour, you know. So he was like, well, that kind of sucks. Like I think it was like in the hundreds of dollars for the hour, and he didn't even get to have the full hour, and he kind of left. I also heard I've heard stories about this happening at like strip clubs too. I think I think I've heard this on Opie and Anthony. I think. Where one of them, or like Jim Norton or someone, they went to a strip club, and they were just like, they were sitting at the bar. They weren't even like at the stage or anything, and they were just sitting at the bar, and like one of the girls was there, and he was just talking to her, and he was like, yeah, and they like had like this really long conversation, really good conversation, he thought, and then at the end of it, she was like, okay, that'll be $300 because you took up my time, and like the time that I could have had on stage. And he was like, what? I'm not going to pay that. I don't remember where I heard that from. I wish I could give it proper credit. I think it was Opie and Anthony, but something like that. But yeah.
There was on If I Were You, there's a similar story to that where one of the hosts, they went to a strip club with like a friend, and one of the bouncers offered one of the girls to the host for $300.
Oh, really?
And so, like, yeah, like paperwork was signed, money traded hands, nothing came of it.
Wow. Yeah.
Just a little throwback to our earlier topic. Bunny Ranch actually has a podcast.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
Hey, do you think they would like to come out on this podcast?
They would like to come out on Simps and Stones.
They even have a live stream.
Oh, really?
That's interesting.
Yeah, not that I'm watching it right now. It's actually off air.
See, but this goes back to my earlier point about like how everyone just has a podcast now. Like everyone. Yeah. I mean, if you go on like, you know, I listen to most of my stuff on like Spotify. So like I go on like the Spotify thing, and it's just like all these celebrities, all these NBA players, all these like whatever, just have like a podcast, and it's just like, what, you know? And I do wonder if we are like in a little bit of like a bubble, or if it's just like everyone just has a podcast, and is it really? I don't know. It's just kind of interesting and strange, and I don't know. Is is anyone actually listening to some of this stuff? But
probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you guys ever listened to like Call Her Daddy, or like
I have
Guys We Fucked and stuff like that?
Wait, I gotta pass this question around. Okay. Would you do it, Nick? Would you like
what? Oh,
have like intimacy have sex with a prostitute?
Nah, I don't think so. I would be too scared of like catching like an STD or something.
Well, the bunny ranch is like super strict.
Oh yeah, no, like they're like a regulated brothel. Like Australia.
You can't even like go down on a girl. Like you have to use a dental dam or some shit.
No, then at that point it's not that fun. Like, like I don't know.
Oh, if I can't eat her pussy for real, it's not worth it.
I mean, at some point you're nerfing the experience so much, and you're paying so much money for it. That's like, is it even worth it?
You can't even know how much you're paying.
Yeah.
The legalities, the legal stuff in Nevada won't let you discuss payment until you're there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. From what I understand, it sounds like a lot of money, and for like not like an amazing experience, Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like you would get the same thing out of like just going to a strip club. Like, I mean, I've only been once, but but like, I only spent like what $50 in like ones, and that was it. And but yeah, so I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't think I would. I don't think I would. Now, if I was in the situation with, probably not even then. Like, if I was in the situation of like someone like buying it for my birthday or something, yeah, I would probably not be okay with it. Would you be like kind of like, what would you do, Memo? Would you be like that smile?
I don't know. I've read about it. I've done research for this because of a script that I'm working on.
I know you said that before.
No, I know, but like,
no,
I looked it up on Reddit and stuff. Like, people had experiences with prostitutes, and it all sounds very sad.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you're some like person, like how we said earlier, like a dude bro who just wants to fuck, I think it's real chill. Like, I think you just go in there and you just like do your thing. And you're like, oh, thank you for coming. I'll walk away. But I think like me, or I don't know if it's you guys too, but I should say me specifically, I'm too emotional for that shit.
Yeah, I get you there. I
get attached.
Yeah.
Not attached. I just want like something else. Like I want more. I just feel like empty.
Yeah.
I think
I want a true romance situation.
Yeah,
but
like
without.
The movie?
Yeah, but without. But without the Drexel and.
I've actually never seen that movie.
Oh, it's a good movie. You should watch it.
What do you think of her, Jojo?
Yeah, it's a good choice, dude.
For you?
Oh, for me. You know what? I'd be down.
Sorry, I picked the girl already. First
I'd be down.
That's why I'd buy you. That sounds weird.
I know. Jesus, sorry.
The person's time I'd buy you.
No, I do want to point this out. I think that we all are pretty like I think like I personally think that like sex work should probably be
what they're called, Memo.
Soft voice. I think that like sex work should probably be legal.
Oh yeah.
States, like I think it's kind of dumb that we have a law against what two consenting adults do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
think that's kind of weird. So, I mean, I don't want to speak for you guys, but I think you guys probably feel the same way, right?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No, I think because there's also
regulated sex work should be legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's also I guess it would decrease sex trafficking because some of the women at the Bunny Ranch I watched this like this news crew go into the Bunny Ranch and like interview the girls, and the girls were standing in a line, and the interviewer was like, okay, how many of you were trafficked into this? And maybe a little bit more than half of them rose their hand.
Yikes.
At the Bunny Ranch?
At the Bunny Ranch.
They were trafficked like at the Bunny Ranch, or they were trafficked before the Bunny Ranch?
They were trafficked into the Bunny Ranch.
Wait, what?
Isn't that legal though?
I think that's illegal.
Like
no. But what I mean is like, so the Bunny Ranch is a legal entity, right?
Yeah.
And if you're saying that it might decrease sex trafficking, be it it's not in Nevada.
I don't know if regulating sex work on a legal scale would decrease sex trafficking, but no, I don't know.
And that's one of the main like pros that I could see about it, but I don't know if it actually happened. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
If you regulate it, I mean, you probably have to regulate it the same way you regulate like child labor laws.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like you'd like have to like investigate people and arrest them for like violating them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, like in brothels in like Amsterdam and Australia, there's like security outside each girl's door. Like there's forms that need to be signed. There's tests that need to be ran before and I think after, but definitely before. Jim Jeffries has a really good stand-up bit about his friend who took his disabled brother to a brothel in Australia. Look it up. It's a funny time.
That's kind of interesting because I don't know. Maybe this is like maybe my dumb American mind saying this, but like if like me and some buddies were going to like Amsterdam, I think it'd be interesting to like check out like a brothel, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, or like maybe like walk by just to like experience it because there's like
I wonder if
nothing like that here, you know?
I wonder if it's weird because it's here in America, but in Amsterdam it's just like a thing.
Yeah.
The red light district is just a thing that is there.
I don't know.
For all to see.
I don't know. Is there like a lot of sex trafficking in the red light district?
I have no idea. I haven't
That's
researched
a good
that.
question. That's a good
I
question.
don't know. I mean, because like the main proponent is that it would lessen sex trafficking, and it makes logical sense that it would. But who knows if it actually does or doesn't? I haven't checked. I don't know. So yeah, that's my thing on that. I don't know.
Okay, but yeah, I don't know. That's
but no, I'm with you. I would definitely. I would definitely go to a brothel in Amsterdam. Why not?
yeah, just like yeah. I feel like you'd have like a cool story to tell from that. But
I don't know how many people I'd tell that story to.
You would definitely tell it on the podcast, but
I would.
Yeah.
Let's do it, Jojo.
What?
Let's go to Amsterdam. Let's plan a trip right now.
Well, is there a difference between the brothels in Amsterdam and the brothels in Nevada? Is my question. Like, is it like a completely different experience?
I don't know.
European girls, dude, in Amsterdam.
European girls are just American girls with like
accents.
They're not the same.
With accents.
Wow, dude.
And I don't mean that like oh, you know,
women are beautiful individually.
Okay.
How dare you say they're all
putting
the
Simps and Stones, but the what I mean is like I don't know. I don't see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they hate it when you do that too. Like whenever French girls, they hate whenever people are like, "Oh, you have such a cute accent," and they're like, "Bitch, it's just like how I talk in my regular country." You know, that's what I mean.
When I was in school, there was a French girl that we went to school with, and she was pretty attractive, and like every guy was just like, "Oh, it's so like you know." Always commented on her accent. Yeah.
Get angry at me, please.
But yeah.
I watch a lot of French movies.
So I could totally see it.
Yeah.
I did know some guys from Scotland. Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, never mind. I'm not gonna tell the story because I don't know. It's not that interesting. But they're from Scotland, right? I don't know. I think so. Where does train spotting take place?
Scotland. Wales. Waco. I don't know.
Waco. Let's see.
Is this?
It's Ireland. No, it's Wales.
Is this the story about how like one of them was robbed in Austin?
Glasgow. No. Oh well, I do have that story. I don't know if I'll tell that. But anyway, they're from
Edinburgh.
They're from Edinburgh. They're from where train spotting's from.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Scotland.
Yeah. Anyway, and I just thought that was interesting because I had seen like train spotting before, and they were like, oh yeah, this and that and the other thing, and they're like, and I was like just asking about like their country and what's like the best way to describe it, and they're like, oh, have you seen train spotting? And I was like, yeah, I've seen train spotting. They're like, what? That's super cool that you've seen train spotting. I didn't know people in America had seen train spotting and stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's like a big
ass movie.
I know, yeah. So I thought that was weird.
Here.
Yeah, so I don't know. So maybe like if you do see a French girl and you're like, yeah, I know like this like random French movie, they'd be like, oh yeah, you know, maybe as like point of reference.
Like, what the fuck is that? Nobody's heard of that movie, Memo.
I know.
Same
What,
thing
Memo?
with
You've seen
Girls.
Cuties? I don't know what movie that is.
You're a big John Luke Dar guy. You fucking
Oh my god,
asshole. You know.
you're
I don't know.
What, you've seen Climax? Oh, that's weird.
That's weird. Even us French people think that's weird.
I know.
So, speaking of OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Oh, hold that thought. I really had to pee, or if you guys want to
Okay.
continue, and I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. Speaking of OnlyFans.
Oh, I was gonna ask if either one of you would date someone who had an OnlyFans.
Fuck yeah. Not even a question, bro.
Not even a question.
Not even worth it. No, I'm just kidding. There's a PS5 coming out in November, and I really don't want to pay for it. I really don't understand like this like weird thing where people are like, I would never date a girl who has an OnlyFans. How dare she? Body's only for mine. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Like if she's like using it as like a front for prostitute, yeah, that's a whole different discussion actually.
But if it's mainly just for what OnlyFans is specifically made for,
yeah, no, I wouldn't have an issue with it at all. I mean, shit, people are paying just to see her naked, probably, and like to talk to her.
Yeah,
and I get the real thing, and like I have like an actual relationship with her, and I get some of the money that comes from it. You know?
Yeah, dude.
Hopefully,
you gotta
maybe she just
you gotta marry into that.
You gotta marry into that. Yeah. I what do you think? Would you date somebody on OnlyFans?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I like to.
Well, I mean, we're also like beggars can't be choosers, you know. So.
What if there was a third option to beggars can't be choosers?
What's up? What did I miss?
So the topic we were like, would you date someone?
Yeah, I wanted to ask that too. What were your all's answers?
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Cool. I'd also date a teacher. Just putting that out there.
So if you're a teacher with an OnlyFans, oh gosh, it's over. You're called no right
Buy me a PS4 in November. PS5, we're good to go.
I see.
Would you, Nick?
I don't think so. I think
no.
This is my perspective. I think I would probably like let's say like I meet this girl and she's like amazing in like every way, everything I've ever wanted, right? But she has an OnlyFans. I'd probably be like, oh, like no big deal. Like yeah, you know, it's gonna work out. But I already know myself and I already know that it's like it'll weigh on me. Like the longer and longer like the relationship goes on and the longer and longer like she has it. You know, I'm just going to be honest about that. Like, you know.
Why would it weigh on you? My question.
It's just a stupid, dumb male brain thing. I mean, I just like I get jealous whenever like a girl I'm crushing on like comments on another guy's post or something. I don't know. Or like does something like that, you know? Or it's just like, oh, well, you know. Makes me feel like kind of weird and a little jealous. So it's like, how am I going to react when like a girl that I really, really care about has like an OnlyFans and she's literally sending nudes to like other dudes, you know? So not that there's anything wrong with that. I totally think that like girls should totally make their money however they see fit. That's super awesome. But you know, that's just my perspective. I don't know. And like I don't think it's like a bad perspective either. I mean, you see this all the time like on Instagram or on Twitter where it's like girls get mad at like guys for like liking other girls' pictures. Like you see that all the time. So I'm pretty sure like any guy that doesn't want to date a girl because she has an OnlyFans is well within his right to not to feel that way, you know? I think it's beyond the pale.
I don't know. I don't
And I do feel like a lot of guys would say, oh yeah, no, it's not a big deal, I'm totally cool with it, and then like later on really start to be like, yeah, I'm actually not cool with this.
See, I don't process things like that, so I don't really understand it, if I'm honest with you. Like I'm never like if somebody likes somebody else's post, I'm not like, oh, you know, like I'm not like I don't get jealous about that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't process like that. So I really wouldn't have an issue. I could care less.
Mm-hmm.
Even if she was like, this is another point, and Jojo, this is probably more for you because I'm pretty sure Nick would say no, but you can correct me, Nick. No. Would you date like a prostitute or maybe like a legal sex worker?
A legal sex worker,
legal prostitute, yeah, not like somebody that's just like on the street, just like. But would you, or like a porn star?
Nah, probably not.
I want to be optimistic because I just like to be optimistic. I would consider it. I'd like to give it a go. As long as I guess this is as long as the feelings that she has are still for me at the end of the day, I'd be okay with it. I don't know if I would. It's a maybe. It's a maybe for me. You
just never know until you're actually in the situation.
Yeah. Like I don't know if I would. I don't know. I think I would have to get comfortable to a point where we could discuss work. Like me with whatever I'm doing and her. You can. I mean, you get me.
I think you're thinking about. Yeah, I like it sounds kind of weird. Like you'd be like, "What'd you do today?" I answered calls for cricket and helped a little old dying lady fix her autism kid's cricket machine.
Yeah, he was being Santa like, for underappreciated kids.
Yeah. Well, what'd you do, honey? Oh, I got railed by 10 guys.
Yeah.
I got railed.
Yeah. Massive penises, just massive, just like the size of my arms.
I doubt the conversation would necessarily go that way. I'm just it would be weird when like our asshole friends bring it up.
See, that's what I'm thinking about.
But I mean, it's just be like I don't know. I think at that point it's just more like
she's getting railed with cocks bigger than yours, man.
I think
at that bigger than yours, JoJo.
See, I don't even think they would say it to our faces. They'd say it like behind our backs.
Yeah. See, that's
which is fine with me.
That would be like the thing. It doesn't necessarily bother me. It's just like. I mean, just like whenever you're dating someone in general, or like whenever you're talking to someone, like everyone has baggage, we all have baggage. I have baggage and stuff. And there's certain things where it's like, you sort of do like a cost benefit analysis where it's like, listen, I'm going to look past all that because you're so much better than whatever your baggage is, and then sometimes there are things that make that cost benefit analysis get a little bit more narrow, and that might be it. And like people like, constantly talking behind your back might be something that you're going to be like, oh, that sounds like super annoying to deal with,
I
think she has to be bringing something like really amazing to the table in order to like look past that. And I hope this doesn't sound like too like insensitive or like
no,
it's just like one of those things.
That's understandable. I think you would have to be not completely comfortable with yourself. Or confident with yourself, but comfortable and confident enough with yourself to be like, hey, she's doing this thing that is not, I don't want to say questionable, because that sounds bad, but for lack of a better word, different. But I'm confident enough that she loves me, I love her. At the end of the day, it's us.
I feel like you have to be that or the complete opposite of that, where you're just like know anything and you really feel like you can't find someone else. That sounds really awful, but like something like that, where it's just like, you're just gonna take whatever you can find. But I don't know.
I get that too. But people that I met that are like that are usually super insecure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you have to be like super insecure about yourself to be like that. But I don't know. I mean, I just want to revert back to this, but I don't think there's like, you shouldn't judge someone based on anything, and I'm not.
There's nothing wrong with it,
but
it's just not for some people.
Yeah, and then everyone has their dating preferences and stuff like that. Yeah. Everyone wants to have like financial security, and has their have their own preferences of the type of people they want to date. So
Yeah.
but yeah, but I don't know.
I want to say it's not a kink. Like I don't have a teacher kink. It's just I'm attracted usually to teachers for some reason.
Yeah, same here. And with nurses too. I've noticed that.
I hate nurses, dude. They're mean.
Interesting.
I'm with you on there about
Nurses are
nurses,
mean?
Nick.
Nurses are mean, dude.
Where do you get that from?
I'm there
All the
with you.
mean people I knew in high school are nurses now.
Are they like who?
I'm not gonna say names on the podcast.
Just say it right now, dude. Well, we said Richard's name on the podcast. We can say
I know that.
And Richard's mean, so there you go. We can
Yeah, dude. Richard's a fucking asshole piece of
Shit.
shit.
How old, the year, date of birth, and everything.
Yeah, dude.
I know.
Fucking dickhole.
Poor Richard, dude.
Nah, fuck Richard. That
Probably
geriatric fuck.
Probably had a tough life.
Fuck.
Maybe he was having maybe he was just finished being Santa Claus at an underprivileged children's orphanage.
He
And
called
he
back
had to-
later, just took a whole new approach to the situation.
And then he found out his autistic kid was joining the army.
Gosh.
Yeah. No, it'd be an interesting thing.
Wait, so like, is there any other professions you guys wouldn't date?
Cops. No, I'm just kidding.
I actually wouldn't date a cop. I would not date a cop.
Really? Why?
That is the schedule that I just don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That
The
is a
schedule's
whole
the problem?
The chance
Yeah.
that they won't come home. That's a.
I don't think
I mean, anybody might not come home.
I don't think I would a politician. Jesus.
Yeah. Okay, politician's a good one. I wouldn't. Well, yeah.
I don't know if I would date a politician. I don't think
Politicians
so.
are usually dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like people are just gonna be talking mad shit about them like all the time, and then the questions are gonna revert to you, and then if you have like a difference of opinion, it's gonna be like this whole thing because it's just like it's so toxic. Yeah,
No.
I don't know if I would date a politician. Or like I don't know.
Have you seen a cop schedules? They're crazy.
Yeah,
They
they
are
are pretty
crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
Imagine having like work a life around that.
Nurses' schedules are also really crazy.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nurses and doctors and stuff.
Yeah, that's why they're so mean.
But like I don't know.
I don't know. It's just a question. I was just wondering. So like, okay, so we got nurses, not nurses. Sorry, we got cops, politicians, and sex workers. Basically, all the same thing.
See, but I feel like sex worker would probably be the one I would be more likely to date than the other ones.
No.
Then a
Yeah.
cop.
Yeah.
You don't think you're likely to date a cop?
Do cops hate
maybe.
black people?
I mean, there's that.
I mean, Nick's not black. What are you on about?
Nick,
But
you're not
but
black?
But like,
How does
but
that
like
portray it?
to be like a sex worker, you would have to be like super open minded. You'd have to have like a different sort of way of looking at the world compared to like being a cop or a politician. And I think that's more interesting than like I don't know. Than like
Are you saying cops are not open minded?
I don't know. I mean, I think
The most face
let's
during
say
that
this, let's say this.
entire-
I work in police.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I will say this: there is a stereotype of police officers.
Uh-huh.
It's mostly wrong.
Okay.
The people that I've met in policing run the gamut of like super conservative asshole to moderate to like, oh, I'm gonna go and shoot my guns on the weekend to, oh, I write jingles for a comic book shop in town.
Interesting.
That's pretty cool.
That's
It's
kinda-
all over the place, really. The people
Yeah.
that I've met, because I have friends who are police officers,
Mhm.
and they're nothing like you would expect. Like that jingle guy, it's a real person that I know
Yeah.
Mhm.
who actually does that on his spare time, and like all in his spare time, all he does is hang out at comic book shops.
Interesting.
And that kind of ties into his whole like policing thing, though, because he like
Yeah.
likes the whole like Captain America bullshit.
Oh.
Discussion for a different day.
Yeah, I guess so.
But no, he likes comic books and stuff, and that's what he likes to do. But you would never like when I saw him, I was like, you're a, like you're kind of different,
Yeah.
It is a whole
And like obviously we're like generalizing with everything, and like I'm sure if like I met like this amazing politician woman, I would look past that. Same thing if I met like this amazing sex worker, like I'd probably look past that, and I'm sure the same thing is with you guys. Like obviously we're generalizing a little bit.
there's
but
probably a nice nurse somewhere out there.
probably
Yeah.
or maybe not. I don't know.
There's probably a nice.
Teachers are always nice.
I don't know if that's
Shut your
true.
mouth about teachers. Teachers are amazing.
Every single teacher you've had has been nice.
Every single
one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Miss Paul, 3rd grade. She was fucking.
I don't even know who that is.
Miss Paul.
Isn't she the one that like? Can I say this on air?
Should I know? Yeah, go
asked
for
you
it.
if you were like.
No, so I'll tell that story again. That was Miss Little in 7th grade. Science.
Who's Miss
So
Little?
I was.
We all went to the same schools. I don't understand how I don't know any of these.
I think those got put in the white only classes.
I know.
So it was 7th grade. I was sitting in class. A couple cholos were talking. I was just kind of listening and like quietly adding my 2 cents every now and then to their conversation.
Wait, how does this conversation go? I'm really interested. What did Cholos talk about that you're like adding stuff to?
I don't know. They might have been talking about movies.
Hey Holmes, I just saw the new Charlie Kaufman movie.
The new Charlie Kaufman movie.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's just tight way. No.
You see his dread, dude. I'm gonna get some too, bro.
My God.
No, but I don't know. They were talking. I don't remember the conversation. I don't know. But they were talking. I was kind of listening to them rather than the lesson, and I was called upon by the teacher, and she was like, "Can I see you outside, please?" And I was like, yeah." And so we walk outside the classroom. She closes the door behind her, folds her arms, and just kind of sighs. And in the most condescending way, she asks me, "Joseph, have you ever considered special ed?" Just in a really condescending way. And I was just kind of shocked. Because special ed, its purpose is to help those who
are special. They need special education. Yeah.
But because kids are such fucking assholes, special ed is, that's the retarded kid.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
So of course that's how my dumb little brain took it. It was like, no. And I don't remember what she said after that. I was just so in shock that she asked that question.
See, so like, why did you get in trouble and not everyone else?
I have no idea. Maybe my grades weren't the best. I don't know how I graduated on time. I don't know how I passed the 6th grade. I don't know how I passed the 7th grade.
No child was behind.
No child.
I mean, everybody passed. You know.
Yeah.
I think it was more work to fail to not graduate than it was to graduate.
Yeah.
I was just curious. Like, is her asking you that connected to that conversation you were having with the cholos?
No, I don't.
Okay, that was my question.
I don't.
She's like, Jojo, you're not assimilated into the cholo culture. What's wrong with you?
No, like, I don't know, but I think, and maybe this is kind of a fucked up twist. Like, she saw more potential in me than the cholos, which is really racist.
See, that's what I was like going with this. I was like wondering. I was like, what's like her angle here? Like,
I don't know.
Why did she like suggest this to you, but not?
I met her husband like a few years later, and he's great. He's awesome. He does stuff with the Upstagers every now and then. But she's a nightmare. The Miss Little's husband.
What's his name?
I don't fucking Mr. Little. I don't know.
Is Miss Little white?
Yeah.
No, dude. She's
Dominican.
Yeah.
She's Dominican.
So maybe I don't know I guess you could cut this, Nick.
Maybe I needed special ed.
You know, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this. I thought you needed special ed for a bit too. And that has nothing to do with like your like IQ or like the way you processing. It was just the bathroom incident.
Stop, dude.
That's all it was. It was just the bathroom incident. Like,
oh my god!
Listen, dude, the breeze upon my cheeks.
Okay, can we explain the bathroom incident?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So we all went to elementary school together for a while, right?
Elementary school.
Yeah.
and
we didn't really talk a whole lot. Then it wasn't. Until,
yeah, we weren't as close as we are now.
I was JoJo's best friend. I want to say that.
No, you weren't.
Yeah.
Memo was like a
I
meme.
I didn't have a best friend at the time. Because I was legitimately, like, I know this might be a general statement. I was pretty much the only white kid in a majority Mexican school.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't know things.
So we knew JoJo though because we would go to the bathroom. So
here's the incident. I went to use the bathroom, and I decided to pull my pants all the way down
at the urinal.
So my like 8-year-old ass cheeks are just hanging out.
I would say that.
And then an 8-year-old person as well. That's important to note. Walks in and just sees JoJo's 8-year-old cheeks just like hanging out, and it's like, what are you supposed to like?
Well, you were 8 years old too, Memo. Like just
I was 8. I was 8. Okay.
Yeah, and so like
supposed to think, this guy's in special ed.
Yeah. And so and like people made fun of me for it, and I was like, that's not cool. I guess I won't do that anymore in public. And so,
oh man.
And so that was the incident.
You still do that, like now?
Yeah, man. When I'm in my own bathroom, I'll just drop trout, dude. Who's there to fucking watch?
You dropping trout tonight, dude?
I'm always naked in my room, so I guess that's true for me too.
Who's there to fucking watch? But that's the urinal
Lord.
incident.
In my defense, there was a lot of kids in special ed who were doing that in the urinals. So it only makes sense.
Like, I think a couple kids cried. Like, what is this?
Yeah,
I do remember like a few instances of like other kids like not being able to unzip their pants, so they just like peed their pants inside the classroom. I do remember that happening sometimes. I don't know. Elementary school was weird.
It was weird. I cried a lot in 5th grade. I don't know why.
It's
okay.
We all cry.
We cry a lot now.
Not in 5th grade. We were like best friends, JoJo. Don't you remember that?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Had a big Pirates of the Caribbean coke going on.
So there was like so I was really into action figures up until the age of like 15, maybe 14.
Do you mean? You still buy action figures now, don't you?
No, not really. I mean, I'll buy like.
Don't you have like? Aren't you like a one of those like vinyl pop collectors of like a?
I'm not a big vinyl pop collector. I do have a couple that I like. I do like Legos though. I'll say I still buy Legos. Yeah, those are fucking great.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, you still buy
fucking
Legos.
Love Legos.
Spend like hundreds of dollars on Lego sets. Anyway, what were you gonna say about that shit? What were you gonna say about action figures?
But this was when like Dead Man's Chest came out, Pirates of the Caribbean, and like on the last day of 5th grade, I had brought like my Jack Sparrow and my Davy Jones action figures to class, and like the teacher was like, "Wait, you still play with dolls?" And I was like, "They're not dolls, they're action figures." And so, like. Memo was in the classroom at the time, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't really like Pirates of the Caribbean." I was like, "Oh, well, you're crazy."
Even a movie snob back in the day.
It's a good movie. It is. You just have fun. But yeah, like even the teacher was like kind of in on like the joke. It was. I fucking hated the teachers. Coach Elizondo and
oh my gosh,
yeah, dude.
JoJo's on a tear, man. He's calling out everyone.
Listen, when you're called Harry Potter for like all of elementary by the coach of the school,
is he like some principal or something now?
I don't fucking know. But he would come up to me and like, "You want a spot of tea, Mr. Potter? You want a spot of tea?" And I'd be like, that's a good one. Original.
Haven't heard that one before.
But, like... And then And then there was another incident where we were all playing kickball.
Uh-oh, Memo laughed.
And it was my turn to kick the ball. So I go up. The ball gets kicked to me. Some kid says, "You suck!" I turned to him, flipped him off, kicked the ball, called him a bitch, and ran.
And that was Memo. That's how you and Memo met.
And that's where we connected. But like,
just imagine a little JoJo doing that. It's so cute.
It was like at the time I was like, "Oh, my mortal soul," because I was a good little Mormon boy. And the coach was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" And of course, my brain remembers it. Me being the only one that got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
But it was. You're right, Nick. Elementary was a weird time.
It really was.
I enjoyed elementary.
I know, because you're bullying all these little white kids, dude.
I know, dude.
There was only one white kid. That was JoJo.
Like, even my brother Josh, like, mixed in well. Because he has, like, darker skin than I do.
Is he, like, okay, I'm gonna call you out on this on the pod.
Yeah.
You have, like, this weird thing where you're, like, the only white kid in the school, but I don't think it was because you're white. I just think you had issues, like...
I think I most likely had issues.
Not issues, bitch. Like, you just had issues fitting in.
No, dude.
Like, you didn't click with anybody yet, you know?
That's fair. Like, let me read something here. So, like, in second grade, I was in Mrs. Weston's class. Still miss her. She's great. I hope she's happy right now.
Oh, okay. This is not one of your call-outs.
I know.
No.
This is not
good one. This is a good call-out.
This is a good one.
I know. No, like, so I think, like, one of our assignments, let me see if I can, I have, like, fuck me, let me see, there's a lot of things that just are so out of context, these scribblings, and I...
Wait, you have your schoolwork right in front of you from elementary?
Listen, here it is.
Wait,
what? We're not bullying for that. Okay,
So this is, I do have, like, I found it in storage. Here's a list of, like, answers to questions out of context. Number 1, good morning, Mom. Number 2, my mother is sick right now. Number 3, I am rich. Number 4, my mom has a wedding ring. 5, look, it's a shadow. 6, the Hulk will smash things. 7, something is wrong. 8, who has a loose tooth. 9, the Earth's center is the core. 10, I paid 99 cents. No, but there was like a thing where it was like, if you found a genie and you had 3 wishes, it was like, oh, well, I wish my mom would feel better. I wish I had like $1 million and I wish I had friends. And so there's, I was more sad in elementary school than I fucking remember. I got an 80 for an incomplete map of the world. Get out of here.
Get out of here. Don't give me the 80 for that.
Get out of here.
No, but I don't think it was because you're white. I think.
Yeah. No,
I mean, you had like a weird upbringing too because of your Mormonism.
Yeah.
And
just to point this out, JoJo is Mormon. For anyone that doesn't know, yeah.
Yeah, I was
predominantly like Catholic.
Yeah, I would say so.
And
Catholic
like not
Christian.
just, and Catholics are like not even Catholic. They're like full religious.
No.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? Like and it's Mexican too. I get that, but the only way I could see you being like an outcast in the Mexican side is like if everybody there was like cholos and stuff. But that wasn't the truth, honestly.
Yeah, everyone
like,
was like super preppy and like
yeah.
Especially if you went to Eagle Pass, bro, you would stick out like a sore thumb. But Del Rio, it was like there was like,
especially at the elementary school we went to, it was like that's like where all the base people went and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just think it was like people are mean, kids are mean, and then
they're like,
we were just like,
it's really weird how kids are sort of like. They're like sort of like the caveman versions of us and how like blunt they are and how they're just like they're just like no holds barred at times. It's really interesting.
Like at one point you're peeing with your ass cheeks out, and the next thing you know, you're known as the ass cheek kid.
I mean, I guess there's that. But anyway, so
I'm sorry for your bro, dude.
No,
sorry,
dude, you're good. If you want to hear another story, there was in 6th grade.
Let's hear
we were waiting outside for a teacher to like open the door, and there was like this cholo kid just kind of like roasting me. And there was this girl that came up and like defended me, and she threw her arms around my neck to pull me in for a hug. And so at this point, my face like is in her chest. And at that point, I had never been hugged before by anybody other than my mom or my dad. So like part of my brain was like, oh, this feels great to just have a friend. And then the other part was like, ah! I'm sorry, Jesus!
Okay.
And I later went home and asked my Mom, did you ever like hug people? Did you ever like hug your friends in school? She's like, yeah, honey, why? I was like, no reason, bye. And then I just like walked away. And if that doesn't explain the type of person I am today, I don't know what else will.
It's a microcosm of everything.
Yeah, dude.
No, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't grow up Mormon, but I guess I was like, who is this girl? I'm interested who this girl was that, like, because that's actually kind of cool that someone did. I mean, I don't know if you want to say her name, but...
we'll call her, we'll call her S.
Text me afterwards who it is. Is it someone that is,
text
like...
right now.
Yeah, or text us right now.
But, like...
Oh, that's kind of cool that she did that.
Yeah, like it was really nice. It was I can't multitask worth shit.
I have to ask, who was the guy?
I don't know who he was, but I can remember his face. He was bald. He wore glasses. He wore like a Spurs jersey that was way too big for him. He wore baggy shorts. He looked like a cholo. I don't know how. I don't know.
Are you profiling right now, JoJo?
I fucking am. It's
very
not
anti-cholo.
It's not profiling when it's true. And so.
Okay.
That's
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't me.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't you this time.
Yeah.
But other times.
But yeah, it was. Yeah,
Dude, she was hot back then.
That's why'd you say that? Why'd you say
her forever.
Her and I were neighbors in this little like mobile home neighborhood, and so she was really cool.
Let me clarify. Cool. I haven't seen her in forever. In case she's listening to this, I don't know how you look like now. That was just like
I recently added her on Facebook. I haven't talked to her, but she's.
You should reconnect. You should be like, hey, remember that time where you saved my life?
Remember that time when you almost sent me to hell?
Y'all know how like in high school movies and stuff, there's like those like it girls and things like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't really feel that in high school, right?
Yeah.
But like in like 6th grade, she was like kind of the it girl.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said that, because that's what I meant. Like she was like hot shit back then.
Yeah.
Like it was her and some other person she was dating, and it was like the cliche it couple.
No.
For a bit, and then we kind of all grew out of it in like 7th, 8th grade.
Mm-hmm. Or we became such losers that like we weren't even in touch with what was going on.
Yeah.
Probably true. I was in media tech the whole time. I didn't even notice there was a world outside.
Yeah. Anyway, well, guys, we're at an hour 33. So I'm thinking we do like our final thoughts.
Were we supposed to be fishing for stuff? Is that not a thing?
That's a thing if like we run out of topics.
Oh,
or if the conversation needs a little bit of like giddy up, but I think we did pretty good. So anyway, I think that's a good first episode. What did y'all think? How y'all feel?
That was solid. It kept getting better.
Yeah,
it did. Yeah,
it's a little awkward at first, but then once you get like into it,
yeah, we'll work on it. It's the first episode pilot, but it's going to get better. It's going to get better. But yeah, so JoJo, this is history in the making. You're the first guest.
Gang. Thanks for having me.
We're of course going to have you on probably a few more times and
Yeah.
a bunch of other times. We'll see how this goes. I don't know who the next guest is going to be. It was going to be Jared, but he's kind of AFK right now. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, he hasn't been seen in like 3 weeks. I don't know where he's at.
I'm about to put missing posters out for him.
But yeah, so thank you all for doing this. Thank you all for listening. And
thank you guys.
Don't forget to subscribe to Weird Fish Productions and also follow them on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. We'll put everything in the doobly-doo so you could find it and do all that stuff. And yeah, so thanks, you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Love you.
Bye. Love you. Mwah.
Stopping recording now.